Look what I've done. Look what you taught me. One taught me love. One taught me patience. One taught me pain. I'm fucking hating.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a highly requested story time. This is not the best story time, but this will give you guys some insight about me, what I've been through, how I've overcame things, and I hope this video will be insightful to you ladies and gentlemen who have been through something traumatic and either don't know how to overcome it, don't know how you're gonna make it through it. This video is definitely to inspire you just to make beauty out of your pain, out of your trauma, and not let it deter you from going down a wonderful path. Because we all go through devastating and traumatic things in life, but it's not what we go through, it's how we deal with what we go through. And I'm going to talk about what I've learned and something I've been through. Alright, so this is a highly requested video about how my mother died, the story behind it. A lot of you guys have questions. You guys have seen my dad on the channel in a video. A lot of you guys always ask me, where's your mom? Why you don't do videos with your mom? You know, different things like that. I told you guys in like a comment or something that my mother passed away, and a lot of you guys requested to hear about it. So I'm very open, and I'm okay with talking to you guys about this. So yeah. Alright, so my mother passed away when I was 12 years old on March 20th of 2009. I was 12. My mother committed suicide, and I'm just going to kind of tell you guys the story. So a little backstory off of what actually happened, just to kind of make things more clear for you guys. When I was 12, that was a time in my life where I lived with my mother growing up, guys. Well, not my entire, but up to that point, I lived with my mother growing up. I was very close with my mother. We had a strong relationship like this. When I say like this, because I grew up living with my mom. My brother grew up living with my dad. But like, I would go to the mall and stuff with my mom. We'll go to the mall together, shopping, get our hair done, da 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 da. And I've been asked before, like when I was younger, when my mother was alive, like, are y'all sisters? No, it's my mom. I had a super duper close relationship with my mom, and God rest her soul. So, on the backstory from this specific day is, around this time, my mom was going through depression. There was many different things going on in her life, financially and just emotionally, that she was tackling. We had just moved back in with my grandmother because somebody had broken into our home. It was just a lot of different negative things going on during this time. And so depression was weighing on her heavy. I was 12 years old, so I really didn't understand it then, but I can understand it now. So the night before my mother passed, I remember seeing her walking back and forth in the kitchen, pacing back and forth. It was at nighttime. And I really haven't told many people this, but probably like my cousins who were there. She was pacing back and forth in the kitchen, and I asked her, it was at night, and her eyes, it was like dark under her eyes, like sleepy. And I asked her, I said, do you need help? Do you need me to call somebody to ask help? And she looked at me and she said, yes. So at that point, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I couldn't call. I remember going to the computer and looking up like a counseling center, and they were closed, so I couldn't call. So I said, I'm going to call in the morning. And me, I'm 12 years old, y'all. I'm 12. So the next morning, I get up to go to school with my two cousins. We all live in the same house. Two cousins. We get up, we go to school. Once I get up in the morning, she is still pacing in the kitchen, pacing back and forth again. And so I just said, hey, Mom, can I get some lunch money? She said, get out my purse. got my lunch money, went off to school. School went on as a normal day, and then I got off the bus and I saw her car parked in the driveway. Well, that is normal because we live with my grandma and she didn't have a key, so she would wait on us to get off of the bus so my cousin could let her in. We all could let her in. So I see her car in the driveway, and as we're approaching the car, me and my cousins, we see shattered glass on the ground. That was like the first indication that something was wrong. After seeing the shattered glass on the ground, I look in the car, and there she is in the car. It was a gunshot wound to her neck here, a Bible in her lap, and a gun. So at that point, my cousins, they're panicking, you know, just typical, not typical, but they're panicking, you know. It's just like nobody knows what's going on. So I just started walking down the street, and as I'm walking, I'm praying at the same time that I'm walking. I'm literally, it's a sunny day too, super sunny day. I'm looking up and I'm praying, and I remember just saying over and over again in my head, God, please don't let her be dead. God, please don't let her be dead. God, please don't let her be dead. And I just kept saying that over. And I'm walking down to a neighbor's house. I see a lady walking her dog, and I tell her, I said, I don't know if my mom's dead or not, but can you come help? So she runs and goes, investigates, and see, then calls the police, called, you know, all the people. And the people from across the street, they came out across the street and they said, yeah, we heard a gunshot go off around 11 or 12 o'clock. I think they said 11 or 12 or 10 or 11, something like that. This morning, not this morning, but this afternoon for 12, morning for 10 and 11. And it's like, okay. So at that point, I'm just still just standing there, just like standing there in the driveway in shock, just praying. I was just looking up to that sunny sky. I could see clouds. I'm like, God, if you can hear me, God, I know you hear me. Bring her back, bring her back, bring her back, bring her back. Like, I just kept saying it over, like, please don't let this be real. Just like, I'm 12. I'm 12. I am 12. 12. From that point on, I'm just sitting there praying on the ground, on the concrete. Shortly after, the police arrived, ambulance arrived, helicopters flying around. I have to call my dad. My cousin had to call her mom. My aunt has to call her mom. And it's just a crime scene. There was a letter. I don't remember what it said. So my birth certificate, my social security card, you know, once the ambulance left and stuff, she left all my stuff in my clothing bin for me. So, you know, she was thinking about it. She planned to do it. Apparently, obviously, so yeah, it was, you know, planned, and, you know, apparently, you know, she went and purchased a gun that morning, and that was just the end. I think the thing that I think about the most is the night before, when I asked her, I said, I looked there because I knew something was wrong. I said, do you need help? And she said, yes. And I waited, you know, to say anything. And I'm thinking the next day, I'll be able to call and get her help. And then it was, you know, too late. So, I know some people have a hard time hearing and listening. So, yes, my mother, she committed suicide. Um, People can ask you and say, well, why? Nobody knows why but that person. So that's something I went through when I was 12. After that, I spiraled out of control. I lost my virginity at a very, very young age. I drank alcohol for the first time at a very, very young age. I smoked marijuana at a very young age. I spiraled out of control for a couple of months. It wasn't until I read this book. I want to say I read this book about when I turned about 14. I read this book, and it was basically about not letting things you've been through destroy you, but letting it mold you into who you are. And so, though I did spiral out of control and I went through a phase for a couple of months doing all this bad stuff, I realized that I can't let what I've been through destroy me. We're all going to go through some traumatic things. We're all going to go through some stuff like, dang, how do I get through this? But at the end of the day, it's just, you have to let everything that you go through that's negative, that's not good, you have to let those things be the things that motivate you to become something. Because with my story and all the stuff I've been through, I have stories for days. This is just one. So this goes out to all of my young kids that have lost a parent, that are going through something traumatic, that have lost someone close to them, a guardian, anything like that. Don't let that be the end for you. Make them proud. Go out here and be the best student in school you can be. Go out here and be the best person in your career field that you can be. Be the best mom that you can be. Be the best everything that you can be. And let those things that you go through be stepping stones for you. Everything is a stepping stone. If you overcome it, if you still breathing, it can be a stepping stone for you. I just want everybody to take all the stuff you've been through, all the stuff that's being thrown at you. I just want you guys to take that. Let it motivate you to be great. Take all the pain, the anger, everything that comes with trauma, and turn it into something beautiful. You can use the stuff you've been through to help somebody else. You don't know who's going through the same thing. Like, though it's like so traumatic and so hurtful, you guys, you don't know how you can just turn it into something beautiful. I'm so thankful that I went through that. Yeah, I went through a little horrible stage. But look at me now. Like, look at me now. People tell me they're proud of me all day, and I'm so thankful for that. Like, a lot of people will be like, I don't know what I would do if I went through what you do. You would have to be strong, you know? You would have to be just, I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words in this video. I didn't think it was going to be this hard to film. I don't even know what I left out. I probably left a whole bunch of stuff out. I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be this hard. Like, as soon as I cut the camera on, I was ready. Then once I started talking, I kind of just got like choked up and just lost all of my thoughts. I didn't think it was going to be like this. But turn your pain into something beautiful. Take me for an example.